Hello UBBT teams. I'm on the famous work deck in Hilo, Hawaii. You'll hear some ambient noise, and there have been some big C-something cargo planes flying over doing landings all day. I heard they ran out of airspace in Honolulu. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the UBBT. I'm going to read from some notes, but I think these are all things that are worthy of discussion, and we might have talked about them before, but this is the breakfast of champions to reevaluate and make sure we stay on course. I want to remind you that the UBBT is not an easy test, and these are not easy tasks. It's one heck of an adventure, yeah? I need you to look at your progress on a day-to-day basis. And don't give up, and no matter how many times you fall down, you get back up. And the main key for this is to have everyone around you hold you accountable. For instructors in this program who failed, they failed because they failed to tell their students, their family, people they wouldn't want to fail in front of. And without that leverage, when they missed workouts, when they stopped doing their curriculum, when they really didn't have any drive, nobody looked at them like they were, being false or, falling on their duties. You hold your students accountable and to their contracts, to their training, to their goals. Well, who holds the instructors accountable? Yeah. So that's very important aspects. It takes a village to raise a child. It also takes a village of people to raise a master instructor. Tell people around you, ask them to hold you accountable. You shouldn't be able to even live in your town if you don't see your goals through to fruition. In the end, I think the best way to test students would be to say, to go to every person around you and ask them privately, did this man or woman really walk the talk? Did they suffer through what was most difficult for them? Or did they skate over the hard stuff? Yeah. Point number 2, there are 4 areas of testing and training in martial arts and maybe life that this test focuses on. And if you're going to be a martial arts teacher, you ought to know these things and use them as your foundation for teaching. They are self, family, community, and world. The training, it's where the rock drops in the pond is about your self, your own training, your own waist size, your own goals, your own ambitions. Second is sphere of influence. What you do should affect those people in your immediate sphere. If you're working your anger management, you're no longer blowing up on your kids and loved ones, that affects them. They learn anger management through your practice. Third is community. If you're not impacting your community through your martial arts training, then it's like eating a meal with just one starch on your plate. You want to balance. Every meal with just potatoes, without the vegetables, without the protein, that's not going to cut it. And training in martial arts without thinking about and only thinking about self and not affecting family and community, it's not the right way. It's not the master's way, yeah? And then the 4th level is global. You must operate from a place that takes into consideration all people and not to live the selfish, self-centered life, yeah? So those 4 things play into this test. And as you work through your curriculum and your personal victories and your profiling 10 living heroes and all those things, you remember that your foundation are these 4 things. Point number next. These are some things that are really important and vital to the UBBT project that you're in. Number 1 is you must not be heavy or overweight when you come to the final test. That means diet, exercise, self-discipline, and training. You had better be in the best shape of your life. And all my life I've fought weight issues. I've always been 10 or 15 or even 20 pounds heavier than I'd like to be. And so it requires a lot of discipline. And I kind of go up and down. But you make sure you peak when you come to this test. This test must be something that transforms you. Otherwise, how can you teach other people to transform if you can't do it for yourself? You must tell your story online. It's absolutely essential for the big mission of this test, and the big mission of this test is to impact the world. We represent a group that hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people will be exposed to this test in one way or another. The UBBT has a tremendous influence, and so your writing and talking about the test is very important to the project. It may seem like a little tiny thing, but let me tell you, those little things add up. If you miss journaling, you're missing the test completely. You must connect with other members. You should know everybody on your team. There should be no mistaking. You should know who's strong, who's weak, who needs help, who doesn't, what each of their forte is. It's exactly what you'd want of your own students on your own team. You know, how many times have you been on or seen a team where, you know, everybody's so self-centered, they don't know anything, hardly even know anything about anything but what they're doing. That is not the kind of black belts we want to raise, yeah? During this test of 13 months, you got to come up with one wow. And a wow could be anything from a well-written essay to a well-executed project. Something that when we see it, we go, wow. That should be one of your goals. And then I want you to pay attention to what's hardest for you. You know, this isn't a test if it never challenges you. Whatever it is that makes you want to quit, whatever it is that makes you hit the wall, that's your test. And so when you contact me or when I hear you complain about something, I think, well, that's the very thing you're here for. So whatever it is that challenges you, that is what you have to overcome. Easy to say, hard to do. Finally, I need you to support Alabama. This Alabama project is some of the best work we'll ever be involved in. It seems like a simple weekend event, but it's setting a pace for the entire martial arts world. This simple little Alabama project is serving as an example to thousands of schools and to the entire industry to say, hey, you know, here we are, this little group of people, look what we're doing. What if we all did something? What would that mean to the way people perceive the martial arts and what we could talk about? And then finally, I need you to read the curriculum very carefully. I need you to make a contribution to this program, not just take from it. And I would really like it if you could leave something behind, something that you contributed that was a legacy to this program that other people can benefit. If 100 of us did that, if all your students got involved, by the way, with your student involvement, they should all be journaling on the UBBT student site. If they're not there, contact me immediately. Okay, I'm available for you whenever you need me. Call me if you need help. Thank you.